Across the scorching hot, sun-kissed landscapes of Africa, there exists a unique clade of giant trees, the baobab trees. These are the oldest seed-producing trees in the world, with many having lived for more than 2,000 years. Many baobab trees that currently live were also alive during the era of the Roman Empire, and classical Greece, and Achaemenid Persia. To the African peoples who live in the lands of the baobab trees, the massive plants are symbols of life, fertility, and community. These baobab trees have strangely thick trunks, which can grow to be nearly 20 or 30 feet in diameter, and over the centuries, they've endured brutal droughts, and heavy wet seasons, and everything in between. But now, the baobab trees in South Africa are dying, and scientists aren't exactly sure why. Stefan Woodbourne is a research scientist at Ithemba Labs in Johannesburg, South Africa. He conducted research on the baobab trees, like radiocarbon dating them to find their ages, and he said, quote, "Of the oldest trees that we've looked at in southern Africa, the 3 trees that are older than 2,000 years, in the last 10 years they've all died. Of the 11 trees that are in that age, 1,000 to 2,000 years, 6 of them have died." When you look at the locations where these millennial and very large baobabs have died, they're all located in southern Africa. It's not baobabs in general. It's only baobabs that are at the southern margin, unquote. So this sets the context of our mystery. The baobab trees in southern Africa seem to be mysteriously dying. Disease doesn't seem to be the culprit, so what is? In late 2018, Woodbourne and other researchers authored a report on the baobabs, saying, quote, "We suspect that the demise of monumental baobabs may be associated, at least in part, with significant modifications of climate conditions that affect southern Africa in particular. However, further research is necessary to support or refute this supposition," unquote. To paraphrase, the southern regions of Africa are experiencing the most drastic changes in the entire continent due to climate change, and the scientists think that this is the causal variable that's leading to the sudden and rapid deaths of these ancient baobab trees. Woodbourne said, quote, "When it comes to explaining exactly what is killing the baobabs, my suspicion is that we're dealing with one of the fastest warming areas on the Earth, and the combination of drier conditions with hotter conditions is something that the baobabs are not coping with. That's something that we will be testing in the future," unquote. Alright, so the baobabs in South Africa are dying, and climate change is the suspected culprit. But more data is needed to really clearly figure out what's going on here. But local Africans are not waiting around for the scientists to determine an actual cause. They're being proactive by planting new baobab seeds and protecting the vulnerable seedlings from being chewed up by goats and other grazing herbivores. This effort is really important for many reasons. Most obviously, they're preserving the biological, evolutionary, ecological legacy that is the baobab tree. These unique organisms are pillars of the ecology, and they have immense cultural and spiritual significance to the local peoples. But more than this, the leaves produce medicinal compounds. The fruit is nutritious and rich in vitamin C, and the seeds are a source of oil, which has a wide variety of uses, from cooking to medical care to fuel for fires. One of these local Africans working to save the baobab trees is Muanalo Dyer, who speaks a regional language called Tishavenda. She said, quote, "A tree in Tishavenda has got the prefix that is similar to the prefix of a human being. Mutu is the human being. Muri is a tree. It means it also has got the same value as people," unquote. I think there's a very important lesson here in this African wisdom. Maybe we can survive climate change if we learn to value the natural world around us like we value the people in our lives.